Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see from the title, I want to talk about the latest wave of hate that has hit Les Sserafim and if we should unstand them or not. So, I suppose I need to briefly explain the situation to those who may be living under a rock and aren't aware of what's happening. Les Sserafim dropped their new album Easy not too long ago and it stirred up quite a bit of controversy. There's a lot to unpack here, so I'll be breaking down the different criticisms they're facing and sharing my thoughts on the matter. Many have expressed complaints about the quality of the song, stating that it's a significant step down from their previous projects. Now, I don't believe there's much to say about this point because, at the end of the day, musical taste is highly personal. There's no right or wrong when engaging in discussions like this. All I can do is share my opinion about Easy, and in my view, the song is indeed quite boring and lacking in quality. I don't understand why people are surprised because every single title track from Les Sserafim has been pretty underwhelming and mediocre, except for Antifragile, which I consider one of the best songs of 4th gen music. Even their debut song, Fearless, is a snooze fest in itself. The best aspect of their discography has always been their B-sides, which, to be honest, haven't been that good since Unforgiven. I listened a couple times to some of their B-sides and they are better than the title track but still, not their best album in general. Also, I hated the forced accent in Smarter, but we'll talk about it later. Ultimately, whether you consider this song a step down is up to you. Personally, I find it to be quite mediocre, but I didn't expect much more from them. I don't know why y'all are surprised. Once again, I feel somewhat hesitant to explain what happened because you and your mamas already know, but let me briefly touch on this point. Some people became upset over certain scenes in the music video for Easy that depict the members dancing in a church. Additionally, I believe they replaced some Christian crosses in the same set with their group logo. I also saw some photos with religious references, particularly one featuring Sakura with a crown of thorns. This is a delicate topic because religion is something many people hold dear to their hearts, and objectivity can be challenging. Personally, I grew up in a Christian community, and although I don't consider myself very religious anymore, I understand why some people are outraged. My personal opinion is that while this could be perceived as disrespecting a religion, I don't believe it was done with malicious intent. It's not the only piece of media or music that has been recorded with a church as a background. Furthermore, I've read that the church they danced in is specifically designed for video shoots. That being said, although I believe some people may be overreacting and using this as an opportunity to express hate without consequence, I would have appreciated an apology or explanation from Hybe or Les Sserafim to their fans. If you were genuinely offended by this, I'm not disregarding your feelings, you have every right to feel upset and reconsider supporting them because of this incident. I'm simply expressing that, personally, I don't see a malicious intent to mock a religion but rather a mishandled mistake and an opportunity for haters to spread negativity. Am I in the minority with this opinion? Let me know in the comments. So, let's delve into the infamous encore scandal. If you're into K-pop, discussions like these are nothing new. A group has to perform an encore, they don't sound good, they're shaky, and people get upset for a day or two. Those who dislike the group will use the clip for a couple of months to criticize them, and eventually, everyone tends to forget about it. However, in the case of Les Sserafim, things spiraled out of control. To be honest, the level of poor performance in that encore was unusually high, even by K-pop standards. I remember Les Sserafim facing a similar scandal during their last comeback with Unforgiven. In both cases, some members, particularly Sakura and Kazuka, faced criticism for their vocal abilities. Now, I won't sugarcoat it, the girls could definitely benefit from some vocal classes. However, I believe people are overreacting to this issue as well. Partially, I think K-pop fans aren't being objective once again and are influenced by the hate train from previous scandals. But it still surprises me when K-pop stans act shocked that the industry prioritizes visuals over talent, even if it means that 50% of a group is essentially tone-deaf and can't sing 30 seconds of an Easy song like Easy without running out of breath. While I believe calling out these issues could potentially lead to change over time, I don't think targeting a single idol, such as Sakura, is fair. She isn't the problem herself, but rather a product of an industry overly fixated on beauty and visuals, neglecting proper training for idols. Imagine being a pretty girl offered the chance to debut in a big agency. Would you turn down the offer just because you're not the best singer yet and need to work on your skills more? Of course not. Again, the problem lies with the industry. However, I do find the way they handled the problem to be foolish. In the next encore, they relied heavily on a loud backtrack and auto-tuned their mics. This was the perfect opportunity for people to say that this is confirmation that not only is their agency aware of their vocal limitations but also that they're aware of online criticisms and choose to address only what's convenient for them while ignoring other scandals, such as the ones I mentioned earlier. Moreover, encores are known to be maybe the only time when we can hear K-pop groups actually singing, so using a loud backtrack that covers your voice just looks dumb. I believe this will be the last scandal I discuss today. All three criticisms revolve around the same song, a B-side titled Smart. The first issue people noticed was the striking similarity between Smart and the song Water by Tyla that recently went viral on TikTok. When you listen to the two songs side by side, the resemblance is undeniable. I do think Hybe, or the song's producer, was undoubtedly inspired by Water or other Afrobeat type songs. Many individuals claim that Le Sserafim are appropriating a genre like Afrobeat, which historically originates from the black community. A community that the K-pop industry often disrespects and is insensitive to. To compound matters, in the chorus of the song, they clearly attempt to imitate an African accent. While I am not black, I'll offer one observation on this matter: I'm surprised why so many people are surprised. K-pop has a long history of borrowing music and style elements from the black community, so it's unclear why Le Sserafim is receiving such intense focus when they are just one of many K-pop groups engaging in similar practices regularly. While I acknowledge that people have genuine and valid reasons to be upset about this situation, I believe some are using it as an excuse to express hatred towards them. Furthermore, concerning the choreography for the same song, there's a part where the girls essentially twerk. This wouldn't be problematic if they didn't have a member, Yoonchae, who is still 17 and a minor. This thing infuriates me because this isn't the first time Le Sserafim has faced such a scandal. In fact, when they debuted, Hybe was compelled to alter the choreography for Fearless due to its suggestive moves, despite having two minors in the group at the time. After this incident, one would expect a large company like Hybe to have learned a lesson, but it appears they haven't, as they repeated the same mistake. What can I say? Disappointed, but not surprised. My response to this final question is, it's ultimately up to you. Personally, I never really stand them to begin with. I do believe they're experiencing the typical hate train that often targets K-pop groups, especially girl groups, when they skyrocket in popularity. They're adored one moment, and suddenly everything they do becomes a scandal subject to intense scrutiny. We've witnessed this pattern numerous times before, a recent example being IVE in 2022 or Blackpink during their Born Pink tour. For this reason, I anticipate that a few months down the line, most people will have moved on from these controversies, and Le Sserafim will once again be treated normally. However, if any of these incidents upset you and you feel unstanding them is the right choice, then go ahead. You have the freedom to do so, especially considering they've engaged in some problematic behavior. But I don't think that targeting a different girl group and tearing them apart every few months is the answer to change in an objectively problematic industry. But again, you do you. Having said that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'd like you to consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I am a small creator, and every kind of support is appreciated. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I am curious to read what you think about this topic. Bye bye.